In Emilia-Romagna, we eat the tortellini two different ways, in broth or in a cream sauce. In this chapter, we're going to show you how to make il brodo, the rich, delicious broth, and the Parmigiano Reggiano cream sauce. We'll show you how to make the tortellini in the next chapter. My friends, today we're gonna make brodo, il brodo, a rich broth. We use a free-range chicken. Taka is cutting down first the two legs, the feet. Also the finishing of the wings. The neck is there. We're gonna cut down the head. So we start with the torch to burn every single little, imperfection and clean the skin. We put the neck inside. Once we finish everything with the torch, the chicken has to be put in the water. Cool. And so we're gonna start like that. And then here we have a beef, like La Costa. So it's a rib with, this is very gelatinous and perfect flavor for broth. And we're gonna put it in even this in cold water. Then, as you see, we open the sweet onion and we burn on the top of the pan to give flavor and to add a flavor and to give a little bit of color to the broth. Then Taka is fixing carrots and celery together, and they're gonna go inside. Yeah. Go. Some bay leaf, couple of bay leaves. No. So, did you notice that we didn't add anything except essential flavor, like bay leaves instead of, thyme or rosemary or something, because we want to keep the flavor very pure. We are extracting, the flavor from this amazing chicken, and we're gonna serve and use the broth for the tortellini. If you wanna maybe have use a chicken broth for something, like for example, like lamb dumpling, you could put a lot of thyme and extract the flavor of the thyme that is matching perfectly with lamb, But in this case, we want pureness. We want to give you the perfect example how pureness it is. And for me, as flavors, we kept very simple, just the bay leaves. One thing that you cannot miss in a broth like this is the Parmigiano Reggiano crust. It's something that is so traditional and add to the flavor some incredible umami.
Umami is a savory richness.
We clean the old crust on the outside. We dip into the water. And now it's time to start. Very slow temperature. We don't want the broth boiling. We just want to extract very gentle all the flavors. We forget about this, for between 2 and 3 hours, to reduce at least 30% of the water. And you can prepare a broth once a week, maybe even once a month. And then you can put or vacuum pack or in those plastic bags and froze portion per portion So when you need it, you can heat it up and serve it. The only thing we really care to keep the broth very clear. So every 5-10 minutes, you go through that and you take off all the imperfection. You see, it's like the blood, the Parmigiano, so all this imperfection, we take it off. Sometimes you know, there are people, they prefer to add the salt in the beginning to fix the flavor and to extract it. But to me, it's more important to crush a little bit of pepper, and the rest you're gonna put it inside the whole grain. Just a touch, you know. And step by step, you have to let it go. So I have here a broth that has been sitting here for 2.5 hours, and it extracts in this amazing, amazing flavor. And you can see how it is very, very intense. You know, we could take off all this part because some people doesn't like the fatty part. For me, and for Modenese people, when you serve it, especially when you serve it with tortellini, with the handmade pasta, it's very important to keep that because it shows you the love that you put in the broth. So now that we are ready, it's time to filter.
We pass everything through the chinoise, which is a sieve with a fine mesh.
When you do this, you have to do it very careful because you try to keep the broth very clear. But you see how intense and deep in color is because of the quality of the ingredients you use. The more you go deep with your moving the broth, you know, the more you feel the juice from the meat. And you know,
you can use the leftover chicken in any way you can imagine. Salads, sandwiches, everything.
So you taste it. It's very hot, very tasty, extremely complex. The celery and the Parmigiano are adding that amazing touch. And I need to add a pinch of salt, just a little bit, because it doesn't need more than that. Then we know. We mix it, and we taste it again. As I said in the beginning, this is the most important tool that a chef has, the palate. So the palate, you have to taste everything all the time because your palate is going to talk to you and is going to tell you where to go, what to do, how much salt you have to add. You know, a little pinch of salt change everything. Change the perception in your palate of this amazing broth. On one side, we have the broth, like this intense, amazing chicken broth. On the other side, we are creating now the Parmigiano Reggiano cream. This is the cream from the milk that of this morning. So this morning they were milking the cows to make Parmigiano Reggiano, but Parmigiano Reggiano is made with skim milk. So they got all this cream that we are using now. We are pasteurizing now on the burner. We are pasteurizing and to create a sauce. One thing that is very helpful for you, if you don't have the cream of the day, that is kind of rare,
you can use heavy cream. Make sure it's a great quality.
So we're gonna add some Parmigiano Reggiano. To give a little twist to this sweetness, we need the Parmigiano that is pretty, aged. And right now we are using the 36 month. As usual, you can't say how much Parmigiano you have to put, because it's your palate that is telling you when to stop or how many grams you need it. But right now you can feel the cream that before was like kind of liquid. Now it's getting pasteurized, boiled, and the cheese is melting inside. In this sauce, we're gonna put the tortellini that we are going to make. This is tradition. In tradition in Italy is this beautiful handmade pasta. There are like the Italian way to serve dumpling. They are very small and very complicated in flavor.